Welcome back. Time now for Truth or Fake, our daily fact-checking segment in association with the France 24 Observers. I'm with James Creedon today.
Hello.
James, welcome to you. Let's begin with a video that claims to show a rather interesting way of recruiting new soldiers in the Ukrainian army. This against, of course, the backdrop of those tensions with Russia. Tell us more.
All right. Well, this is on Georgian Facebook page, several Facebook pages, in fact, Twitter as well, over the last number of weeks. So I'll just play the video and let you discover it first, and we can discuss afterwards. We should have some sound on that. If we would be able to, yes. Okay, so no need to play the whole thing, but you get the gist here. It's two male lovers, and it is being presented across several different Facebook pages and Twitter pages in Georgia as Ukraine's army in a recruitment drive. So they're looking to recruit gay soldiers, and so it's being used then as a way of casting negative aspersions about Ukraine. So you can see the comment on this particular Facebook page. It's been translated by Facebook, the original, of course, in Georgian. Are we going to war? Such a nation does not deserve the right to exist. So extremely homophobic rhetoric across the whole thing. Now this was looked into by Myth Detector, which is, despite the English title, it's a Georgian fact-checking website. And what they were able to determine, they looked into all of the various different pages that were spreading this, and just to give you a sense of the tone and the tenor, one said, Ukrainians have announced the mobilization of homosexuals to raise the fighting spirit. Jokingly, if you have an army of this spirit, Crimea was lost, the Ukrainians will lose even more in the future. So essentially the video is being used as a vehicle to criticise the Ukrainian army and to cast them as weak, bearing in mind that in Georgia, of course, there would be quite a big contingent of people who would have Russian, well, actually, I suppose the country historically has had a lot of conflict with Russia, but you do have pro-Russian interests in Ukraine. And surprise, surprise, this video was traced back to Russian media. The pro-Kremlin Alt-Info media was the first to disseminate it. Also, the Alt-Info affiliated Conservative Movement Party. So essentially, this Myth Detector fact-checking website in Georgia was able to debunk this video, and the truth of that video is that it was actually from the UK during, it was made in 2012 in the UK by the Coalition for Equal Marriage at the time when gay marriage was being introduced in the UK. So it has nothing to do with Ukraine, it's not Ukrainians, and definitely nothing to do with the Ukrainian army in the current context of tensions with Russia.
Okay, so only the first two letters of the country were right. Ukraine, UK.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's it.
Let's stay with those tensions between Ukraine and Russia, because there's another video circulating claiming to show Ukrainian troops on the border with Russia. Tell us more.
Right, so we've been seeing authentic images of troop build-ups along the border of Russian soldiers. Also, we've seen some fake videos last week. We were looking at that, of fake videos claiming to show Russian troops in strange formations, mocking Joe Biden, etc. So there's a lot of true stuff going around and a certain amount of fake information in the mix, as always. So this is one video that's been doing the rounds on several Facebook pages. It has accumulated about 37,000 views across different platforms. Many foreign observers have not realised just how different the Ukrainian army of 2022 is compared to 2014. That's when Crimea was invaded by Russia and taken over, basically. The pro-Russian elements have been weeded out and they've experienced 7 years of war. Video of a mechanized brigade preparing for frontline duty. So it shows quite an impressive build-up of troops. Here's another page. This video shows a Ukrainian mechanized brigade preparing to take up its battle positions near Kharkiv. That's on the border. This, I should have mentioned, this particular Twitter account has tens of thousands of followers. It's Visegrad 24. Visegrad, of course, is a reference to the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland and Hungary, those 4 countries. And there are media that speak to the interests of the Visegrad, I suppose, countries. And often there would be a degree of anti-Russian sentiment given the history. In any case, this video, if you trace it back to the origins of the video, was actually published in March 2020. So it does show Ukrainian soldiers. They were engaging in a military drill at that time. So it's completely out of context, and it's not in the current timeline of the build-up of troops along the Russian-Ukrainian border, and fears that that could indeed escalate to all-out war. So fake video in terms of the timing.
Okay, only 2 years out.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you very much indeed,
Thanks,
James
Tom.
Creedon. Thanks for today's edition of Truth or Fake.